Tired of solar panels, generator districts, and energy from space? Well, today I'm here to bring you the Matrix in Stellaris. So it's come to my attention that if you're playing a machine empire and you're not using the determined exterminator, driven assimilator, or rogue servitor traits, you can actually have organic populations live on your planets as living generators, essentially recreating a part of the Matrix where suddenly the organics are giving you all of the energy you need. So the question is this a viable tactic, and can you actually live eventually completely off of the organics? Can you be the true parasitic machines you were built to be? So that's what we're going to find out. Now sadly, you can't begin the game with organics on your planets already, so what we're doing is upping the primitive civilizations to maximum, so hopefully we will find them quite early. Now this isn't about how viable is it going into the game and hoping to find them, it's how viable is it once you've already found them. I want to try and see if I can have all of my worlds with organics on and us draining their energy by the end of the game, and hopefully only relying on that energy source. I don't know if it's possible, but we're gonna find out. And so we begin in the top section of the galaxy, and what is the main benefit then of using the Xenos as our main power source? Well really, it's just the fact that they grow by themselves, and it means that our machines don't need to work the tech drone jobs, or at least we need less of them working those jobs so we can work other things, getting more minerals, getting more research, and all that other good stuff. Essentially, it's free labor. And it's fun. Now, the negatives for having the Xenos on our planets, they do still require some amenities, and they will start to make our stability drop unless we have enough machines on the planet, or at least I believe that's how it works. We'll see that very, very soon, or at least once we find one of the primitive empires. They also require food. Well, I say require, if you have no food, they just grow far slower, but they don't actually decline or become even more unhappy, because they're already at max unhappiness. Because we're using them as batteries. This is working as intended. Do you want to be a hunter-seeker or a fabricator? Just tell me already! Complete. Why are machine empires considered so overpowered in the game at the moment? Well, honestly, it's purely because of this. Habitability. We have 100% habitability on every single planet type. Even this tomb world is completely fine for our machines to live on. This desert world will be the same, and pretty much everything else. And what we want to do is find as many different planet types as possible before we find the primitive empire. Purely because the primitives will have their own habitability, and we want them to be as high as possible when on our planets. We want them to have as high habitability as possible when on our planets. Thankfully, our first neighbours are pacifistic, so they won't really do much to us even though they absolutely hate us. So that's fine by me. What I am going to do, though, is run all the way over here and try and grab this system because I want that tropical world. One more world type to our collection. And there we go, we have found the first world, which is a tundra. Oh, which is good for us, because that's one of the more frosty of the worlds. Yep, you're going to be okay on our Arctic worlds, which mean you're going absolutely everywhere. Fantastic. Native interference, unrestricted. Hello there.
Construction complete.
Welcome to the Matrix.
Planetary pacification protocols.
Now coming to a planet near you. And there goes the primitive armies, and so we have full control of the planet. So right now, we are getting 22 energy from the total of 10 of our new unpaid workers. However, I'm fairly certain, yep, that's being affected by stability, so they do act like normal workers, just, well, not in the best of circumstances. Send over a couple there. Okay, that should help out straight away. And now we're also assembling machines here. They are reproducing fairly slowly. Wait, Nexus and City Districts? That's not correct. One of these is meant to be food. Well, that's not right. Now, the reason why I want food is because until you have some food income, you can't actually purchase any food. So I was going to make this world not only the first world with these fellows, but also our first food world. There we go, now it's back. Okay, that'll be enough housing for a while. So, how much housing do these fellows need? 0.25, and I think that's because, yep, minus 0.5 is coming from the fact they are currently in their current job. Currently. Amenities is still pretty bad, almost a full 1. Loads of deviancy, as you can imagine. And happiness at 0. I've just realised something. If their happiness is being affected, this means they're not asleep. Oh dear. This is so much more brutal than the Matrix. Their organic energy will be absorbed until they expire. But don't worry. They don't die fast enough. And so their population increases anyway. Even without food, they're still getting 0.75 per month. That's going to be a lot of energy later down the line. In fact, what we're going to do then is start to resettle them on all of our cold worlds. Sadly, though, this will be only 60% habitability, and that's a problem because this means now they're taking up more amenities, and they're also taking up more food and giving us less energy. But I still think it's worth it. Plus, we can always breed them on the main planet and then send them back to their happy planet. Their happy planet, their main planet. That's exactly what we're doing. A breeding program. You know, sometimes I realise that Stellaris is actually a really dark game. Okay, new question. We currently have the Fringe planet. How about if we change that to being a generator world? Oh no, it's only technicians output. What I was hoping was just energy output, but nope, that will not work. So what would even be best here? Complex drones? I mean, we are going to have loads of building slots because of the extra workers. Tech world? I think Fringe planet might be the best for now whilst we get it up and running. Yeah, menial drone output, and we're going to use this for food. Sure, for now, Fringe planet. On a side note, no one seems to care that we're eating Xenos. Okay then. Probably because you're a xenophobe, so you don't care. And I still would think you would care about this, but no, apparently not. Oh, you adorable little geckos. Who let you out this time? And where are you? Adorable gecko. Oh. You idiots. Well, now we have fanatic purifiers near us because of this lovely empire releasing them. Smart. That's more like it. We found a species which likes it in Arctic conditions. Hello, Arctic-loving fellows.
Protocols. Planetary pacification protocols initiated.
Lovely. Now really, I would have loved some desert dwellers or something, but this is fine as well. Ta-da!
Units have achieved all objectives.
And of course, this gives us yet another planet. At the moment, our economy is doing terribly because I'm trying to start up all of these worlds at once, which is great in the long term, terrible in the short term. And at the moment, I'm just relying on this one bastion to defend from the geckos and the fact they have other threats elsewhere. Eventually, these machines should also have a defensive pact with us, which is great. Random side note, apparently me taking over primitives will slightly please the fanatical purifiers. Oh, and you as well. Well then. But you also like it. Why is that +1? I guess xenophobe and fanatic authoritarian like it when other empires bully the smaller guys. Sure. This is a lovely galaxy filled with such lovely empires. Seriously, the only empire that is bothered by the fact I've went ahead and taken over the primitives is the other machine empire. Why do you care? It may not seem like we're getting much energy right now, but here's the thing. We are consuming loads of energy because we are trying to populate all of these new worlds, and we're having all the machines now populating them, which costs energy, and we're not actually adding any generator districts yet. We have almost no drones working on energy production, and yet we're in the positive. So already it's starting to pay off, and I think if it gets any more out of hand, eventually it's gonna be really powerful, and because we can have the drones doing other stuff, in the long term, I think it's gonna work. In the short term, I'm kinda poor, but look all the planets I have. That's gotta count for something. The first empire to actually give a potato that we are currently eating life forms of equivalent intelligence to themselves. Well done. You kind of care. Ooh, and you're way too close to us. Maybe our first proper war, because I'm just going to avoid the geckos. From a ruined world we encountered, I have now got a relic I have never seen before. +1 gene modification points. Absolutely useless. Spawn populations from an extinct species on one of your planets. Okay. So the first one is sadly useless because we never get the tech to allow us to actually modify our unwilling batteries. But having an extra population maybe which can deal with deserts or something, that would be interesting. Well, we're going to find out soon. Well then, let's see how this works. Oh, we even get to choose the planet. So what we want is any of the desert worlds. Aha, there we go. With random traits. I'm assuming, though, it will still have the habitability of the planet I put it on. So it would be a desert dweller. Is that still the best? Actually, there's 2 arids, only 1 desert right now. In fact, no, we have 3 arids, and we're about to get another one. So no, what we want is a arid world. They do, in fact, have the arid world habitability. So what we need to do then is move them over to every single arid world we have, and thus we increase how fast we're growing our lovely batteries. And that's all we have for now. Excellent.
Successful.
Once again, it looks like our economy is doing terribly, but I have never been able to expand to so many planets so quickly without utter collapse before. So although right now it doesn't look fantastic, it's hard to convey how much they're helping out because we are expanding ridiculously quickly to almost every single planet we see. I'm also making loads of alloys, and even our science is actually now doing really well. Because we've got like +300 energy, in fact more than that, right now, just from the organics in the Matrix. And that's increasing every single year. The pregnant Earth. Tentacles. Maybe should have been paying attention to what on earth this even was, because having only this scene here with me actually reading it, no context. Hole in the ground. The pregnant Earth. Tentacles. I'm not going to give any more context to what this is about, but we just got this. So we have some other type of research we can apparently get. And let's allow a month to pass so it will actually be there. And it is not there. Oh, come on, I want to know what that was. I have xenobiology. But that's not what it's saying it is. I don't know what just happened. And it's a race to grab this system. And it's mine. Sorry, bud. Well, you can start, but I started first.
Diplomatic alert.
Really, though?
Military confrontation.
This empire trying to grab the system, that is a leap. And so, the continental drones. Beautiful. Can I have some more minerals, please? At the moment, I'm focusing a lot on Unity, so once again, our economy looks pretty rubbish, but it is only 2,254, and our science is looking great, our alloys looking great, and our Unity is looking fantastic, and look at how many worlds we have for the future. And that's without me being really overly expansionistic. Normally, would have to take it way slower. It's so difficult to showcase how good this is. At least, in my first impressions of it, I'm sure I could have done way better. I can normally do way better, but I don't, because I am a derp. So the geckos attacked our allies and have been pretty much ignoring us thanks to this lovely station of ours, which actually repelled a single fleet. That's right, a whole single fleet. So, we're doing pretty well. I'm actually making my own fleet now so I can help out in the warfare. Our science is doing fantastic, our worlds are slowly progressing. The only problem is food is becoming quite expensive, so I am going to have to start making some worlds dedicated to food, then suddenly the energy is less free, because now we're having to feed them. I mean, we don't really have to, it just slows down their growth, but it would be nice if we could have maximum population growth. And look, I already have cruisers. That's not a cruiser, silly, that's a cruiser. Did not see that coming, so after seeing that the geckos were being destroyed, this other empire which hates us is now taking over a load of their space as well. Our ships are now on the way to defend our station, but apparently that's not necessary. Well, I'm hoping I can claim this area so at least our allies and ourselves have a sort of united front. In fact, we're kind of blocking the entire galaxy if we do that, which is pretty darn cool.
Special project complete.
Finally, we've found the home system. Where is it? For a second there, I thought it was in the Gecko's territory, and I was very annoyed. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. We claim this system. Yep, should be fine to attack there as well. Wait. Why did that end up under their control? Oh, I'm guessing they actually had a claim. Because although this is end threat, if it's claimed, I think it still goes towards them. Yep, they're all claimed. That's fine. As long as it's either with our machine allies or ourselves, it's fine. I don't particularly want all that much space now, I just want our worlds to get better, so what we could do is use nihilistic acquisition. Let's steal other people's populations and use them as our own batteries. I'm okay with that. And we have a new relic. A temporary, powerful combat advantage. Could use that right now, but I would rather have the influence. Now, outside of the tomb worlds, every single one of our planets has these lovely, lovely living generators. And in fact, I wonder if we could get a tomb world population using this. Well, if we get lucky. So how many tomb worlds do we have? We have, I believe, 2 of them, so... Did we get either? Sadly, no, none of the tomb worlds were selected, but we now have this, the Skrek. Oh, the Skrek, hello. You have the relic world preference, which means you are actually better than these fellows here. Since you have, I think, 80% habitability, and you have 100%. Yep. We can build habitats. Habitats will be able to store our living batteries. Yes, 100% yes. My fleet is almost ready to go to war, and we will be warring versus the company over here, because they are currently at war themselves, and aren't doing very well. So, we'll go to war to humiliate them, we'll attack them, and take all of their people hostage. For some brand new jobs in our territory. We now have autocannons, which has massively increased the strength of our fleets. So now our fleets go over here, and we start causing some chaos. Gotta love a bit of chaos. We'll be taking this, thank you very much. And now we'll be taking your people. For new, fulfilling lives. Powering entire worlds.
Construction complete.
Job benefits, such as cool robots. Thank you, alloys, for being worth so very much. And the fact my empire can focus on making alloys so much because energy is free now! Huzzah! It's like solar power, really. It's all green and good for the environment. So, you fellows are tropical preference, and you got placed on which planet? Where are you? I can totally read quickly. It's not like I'm dyslexic or anything, and this is really difficult for me. Where on earth is that planet? How many times have I gone past this? Aha! Not even going to edit that. Everyone gets to see how annoying that was. Why are you placed on the arid world? I actually have tropical worlds for you. Wait, are you my first tropical preference? You are, because these are continental. Well then. You are useful, and after we've abducted all of you, I'll start moving you around and being efficient and all that good stuff. I think this world is showing just how good this can be. So on this planet right now, we are producing 60 alloys, a fair little chunk of research, a good bit of unity, and energy. Here's the thing, we have only one drone currently working an energy job. Everything else is coming from all these workers, and the fact we have all the workers means we have additional coordinators because we have prosperity finished off, and we can also have all of those building slots. So we're getting more alloys and more research than we really should at this stage from that planet. I'm still trying to hype up this idea, this tactic, but honestly I've just realised it would really work better by just stealing people. So really going with an aggressive route earlier on, similar to the tactic of being an organic population, stealing people, and then simply purging them, getting minerals and food, and stacking them all onto one planet. That's really powerful as well, so it's similar to that. But because you are growing your population as well, it's a little bit different, so the video is totally warranted. Where are the bad aliens? What's happening? Ah, you're going to attack us, but do I really care? No, you have no claims on us, and I'm just going to slowly devour everything over here. If you ignore me, you're just going to be annoying. You do you, bud. You do you. Once again, a great example here. We have only 0 drones working on power, and yet we have a positive power output on this planet. And we're using power for like everything else, including the robots. Oh no! They're being a nuisance and now just sitting there. I picked a good enemy to attack. Since we can't take every last population, because it simply stops you, we are now done on this planet. They have 1 population left, and so we move on. More batteries to get. Now, you may notice our energy has gone down, and so has everything else, because I'm now converting all of our worlds into more advanced worlds, more alloys, more science, more unity, more potatoes, and because of that, well, we're kind of in the red. Also, I made too many stations, because I need some more navy capacity. There we go, that'll help as well. Hopefully at the end of the month, our energy will go back to at least a little bit higher. Okay, okay. We're just losing everything else because I've overdone it with the building of buildings, because we can have buildings because of the batteries.
Construction complete.
Nothing will stop us. Oh, this is your capital. Oh, you are doomed. And over here... And you've already summoned it. Darn it. So, this is the Rubricator quest line. And I don't think we can actually get it now, because you've already finished off this and just summoned in the Drake. Although, if I kill the Drake, do I get the relic? Either way, I can't claim the system, though, but your system, I don't know how that works, and we don't have the force power to do it anyway, so...
Complete.
Oh, well. Hurry up.
Construction complete.
Okay, regular bombardment for a short while, just to weaken its defenses, and then... steal all the populations. Okay, you're finally reinforcing, but your fleets are not strong enough to deal with me. Excellent. Oh, where's this fleet gone? Maybe that one's en route as well. Then you will be strong enough. Note to self, make reinforcements. Make a new fleet, just spam things. You could go ahead and use the fleet manager like a sane person, but no, you like spamming buttons. Because you are simple, Lathrix. Upgrading the ships with new AI.
Fleet assets detected.
Just ignoring enemies over here, because we are. And soon we can attack again. Sadly, we was actually forced away, but for some reason, they've completely ignored the planet. Also, I'm saying actually way too much today. Don't know why. Also, I may as well just ignore food right now until I've sorted out where all the populations are going, because they're costing us way too much food. And remember, not having food isn't actually that much of a big deal. All it does is slow down the growth of these populations and make them less happy. They're living batteries which aren't asleep for this. They're not going to be happy anyway. Oh, we managed to get victory. That's actually really annoying because it stops the war. Thank you for the influence. Oh, I know what that means. That means I can finally build our first habitat. And that is where we're going to throw all of that new species. There we are. Doesn't really matter where we build the habitat. Just find somewhere I can build it, please. Here is the perfect place. Yes. Now, our ships move here instead. I assume we're strong enough to deal with these fellows. Am I right? Ooh, you are strong. And you have a defense. That's annoying. Will they be able to help you out? Or even are they? The unified planets. If I was a unified planet, where would I be located? Oh my god, you are weak. I don't particularly care then. So if I go to war with you, what happens? Declare rivalry, so I can actually go to war with that empire. Oh. You can't get there. So what I need to do now is just wait until a planet tells me it needs a new job before building anything else. Because what's happening is, because we're getting buildings so much faster than normal because of all these lovely batteries, well, we're building all the buildings, loads of specialist jobs, but there aren't enough drones to work all the other jobs, so almost all of my mining drone jobs aren't being filled. So now, just wait. Unless a planet needs more housing or it needs a new job, stop building. All of the upgrades I could possibly give them are now in effect. So they do quite a lot of damage, and now we'll wait until they attack us, hopefully. Come on, be dumb. Be dumb. Go that way. I don't want to have to fight all of you at once. Stealing is now underway, and we even managed to heal using their own station, which is also protecting us.
Hostile fleet assets detected.
Where? Where are the rest of them? I wonder if they're trying to go around to attack us like the others did. Which is fine by me, because, again, if we lose, what do we lose? Oh no, conquer this time. Ah, over there. Even that's not really a big deal if I do get that. As long as we get a good population out of this, it really is still in our favour. Oh, we're collecting geckos as well. Gotta catch them all. Okay, yes, okay, perhaps yes. Does this work with our batteries? Because it counts as a job, doesn't it? You fellas are getting all that lovely energy, and that's from a job. That's why the governor affects you, and the high stability affects you, and the empire affects you, and the planet habitability annoyingly affects you. Which means this is like god tier for our empire type. Gonna take a while though. We're doing repeatables quite early in the game, honestly, so clearly our science is getting there, but we're still not quite there to get them done quickly. So probably not worth it to do that, but I want to see if it works. How many are left? I want to go after their capital. They all kind of just melted. Also, they're being raided at the same time. But yeah, seriously, where's the rest of their legions? They're overwhelming to us, so where are they? I am confused. Oh, they're all sort of defending their territory. That makes sense. Even then, though, that cannot be it, because we have more. In fact, we can probably brute force our way into here. And I might do that, because homeworld, and that's fun. Not sure. Right now, though, we are building some battleships to go and reinforce this fleet, which will be interesting. So, you know the thing we got earlier? Sadly, I missed the battle with this, but this is actually ridiculous. I activated this, and it gave me plus 40% weapon damage. That's what's currently affecting our fleets. And I just melted a fleet without even seeing what happened. Yeah, pretty much like that. I like that relic. Voidborn. Habitability of our habitats has increased by 20%, and habitats now have 2 additional districts, which means even more space for the populations. And remember, our living batteries only take up 0.25 of housing needs, depending on... Oh, depending on how annoying they are. Okay, apparently the geckos are really annoying, but most of them only 0.25, which is pretty darn fantastic. We are now also bombarding their homeworld. Oh, geckos, you're joining in with the war. Suddenly I'm glad I accidentally left my borders open to you.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Well, that's pretty darn fantastic.
Communications alert.
No. I want victory.
Construction complete.
Now, the reason why I'm not just reinforcing this fleet and using the fleet command system is purely because what would happen then is a single ship at a time would be sent every time it's created, and it's so easy for them to get sniped off, and I'm not really in the mood to micromanage it all. So instead, building a chunk, send the chunk, at least a chunk can defend itself. Note to self, don't move so many at once because you can't grow anymore because of the whole housing thing. First of all, build a few districts, build a few of the drone storages, then move them on. So the habitats aren't as good as I originally thought, purely because of the whole stability issue. If we have too many of the workers and not enough of the drones, this happens, and then we're getting minus 40%. On the upside, it is really easy to keep so many here. So I feel like they're a good overflow, but until then, we may as well let them mature like all of the planets, just slowly breeding those on there. This is a really weird video, isn't it?
Construction complete.
I'm glad I'm half asleep for this. So, with habitats, they're still definitely a good idea. Right now, we're up to 40% habitability already. Things are going okay with this particular habitat. You just can't overwhelm them as much as I did before. But now we're building more of them. As we abduct populations, we can put them straight into the habitats, which will already have the machines growing there, which will already have all the stuff ready for them. And so, they actually make really good just storage for the living batteries, because they all have like almost 100% habitability. Yeah, it works. It's good. Just don't overwhelm them and be stupid like I did.
Alert.
Now, one other way we could play this is if we have a species which isn't particularly good for us, for instance these fellows, we simply go set rights, undesirables, and then we can set a certain type of undesirable, which allows us to destroy them and get loads of minerals in the process. I think it's loads of minerals and energy, or loads of energy. Either way, lots of resource. Doesn't really matter exactly what it is. The reason why I'm not doing this right now is just because I know that works, and that works really well, and I want to see if this is a viable alternative. And, of course, killing them makes people even less happy with you. And I don't really want this to be a hated empire, which weirdly it isn't, despite what we're doing. Once again, plus 40% weapon damage, which is great, because they have quite a bit of defense over here. Which they've just moved. Well, now they really are doomed.
Construction complete. Construction complete. Construction complete.
Six there, and 26 there. Good. So it was worth attacking here. Although, by the looks of things, we're about to be forced into status quo, which is a real shame.
Technological acquisition successful.
Hello, Federation Fleet. Goodbye, Federation Fleet. Begin bombardment, even though we likely won't get anything in time. Ooh, hello. Status quo, that's fine. Never mind. I don't want to lose half of my fleet for no reason. Really? That's the fastest way back? Okay. It's been 100 years in-game, and so now it's time to ask, was this strategy a success or a failure? I think somewhere in between, honestly. I think I have played this very poorly. In many ways, I have made some serious mistakes. I kept on bottlenecking myself, I kept on overwhelming planets and having to move them back. It was really bad at certain points. I just had to stop and then wait for things to fix themselves. If I had more experience with this, and I was better at micromanaging, perhaps had a bit more time, that would have been much easier, and it would have just went a lot better. Now, saying that, despite the fact I think I have slowed down this strategy quite a lot, we're actually in a decent position. It's been 100 years, we have 6,000 research per month, we have plus 300 alloys per month, even though we are currently moving our fleets around. We are in the positive for both minerals and energy, our rare resources are doing okay, and we have loads of unity. So, yeah, we are very powerful right now, and honestly, I think we could win the game if we continued with this playthrough. We are just in that good a position, it's absolutely fine. Now, is this much better than other machine empires and other strategies? No, I don't think it is. Maybe if I played it better, it would be. But the positives are, it was loads of fun and a really different way for me to play, which is lovely. And I think it has potential of being optimized a lot more and made a lot better. It's a silly playstyle. It relies on you finding an empire to begin with, either a very weak empire which you can take some populations from, or of course one of these lovely primitive empires, but if that happens, you could play like this and it would be really fun. Now, one way I think you can make this work a lot better would just be, rather than overwhelming every single planet with these living batteries, only have a few of them with them. That way the other worlds will be normal worlds making up for all the problems they cause. But having them on each planet is also a lot of fun. How many of our population are currently these fellows? Loads. Only 902 are actually machines. That's really good. We could have even had more, honestly, but that's lots of energy coming from the organics, and I tried to avoid as much as possible any energy generation aside from these, so they are working well. And with that, I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's episode. This was loads of fun. Tell me what you think about this strategy, and tell me if you want to see more experimental videos like this in the future. This was just me testing out a theory, testing out an idea for fun, and I don't normally do that on camera, so if you liked it, please tell me. And with that, and me getting increasingly tired, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.